The winged staff entwined by two snakes is one of the most recognized emblems in the world, but its original purpose had nothing to do with healing. It was a weapon of plague. How did a rod once used to spread disease become the universal sign of medicine and doctors? That is the question that unravels a story of mistaken identity, a trickster god, and a symbol that carries a dark contradiction we rarely pause to consider. We all think the Caduceus is the ancient symbol of medicine, but the reality is that the true staff of healing belongs to Asclepius, the Greek god of medicine, and it features only a single snake coiled around a plain rod. The Caduceus, with its two snakes and a pair of wings, was the staff of Hermes, the messenger of the gods, the patron of travelers, thieves, and commerce. Its association with healing is a historical accident, a case of mistaken iconography that took root in the 19th century and never let go. The original power of Hermes' rod, according to ancient Greek texts, was far less benevolent. In the Homeric hymn to Hermes, the god receives the staff from Apollo, and with it the ability to send plagues and nightmares. The Caduceus could open doors between worlds, but it could also bring sickness. In some myths, Hermes used it to inflict a plague upon the city of Argos as a punishment. The staff was not a scalpel. It was a curse wrapped in ribbons. That curse begins with a story from the moment Hermes first fashioned the Caduceus. According to the myth, Hermes was walking in the wilderness when he came upon two snakes locked in a violent battle. They writhed and struck at each other, neither willing to yield. Hermes, known for his cleverness rather than brute force, did not try to separate them with his hands. Instead, he placed his staff between the two serpents. In an instant, the snakes stopped fighting, coiled themselves upward around the rod in perfect symmetry, and became still. Hermes had turned a deadly conflict into a symbol of peace. The Caduceus was born not from healing, but from arbitration, from the power to halt strife. Yet that same rod, when used in anger, could unleash destruction. The duality is built into the symbol itself. Centuries later, in the 16th century, a printer named Froben used the Caduceus as his emblem, attaching it to medical texts he published. The image spread through books, and by the 1800s, the United States Army Medical Corps adopted the Caduceus for its ambulance wagons. A single officer, a man named Captain Reynolds, reportedly chose it because he thought it looked distinguished, unaware that he was draping a plague staff over the vehicles meant to save lives. The mistake stuck. Here is the paradox that seems impossible at first glance. The Caduceus belongs to Hermes, the god of boundaries, of messengers, and of transitions. And medicine is nothing if not a transition between sickness and health, between life and death. The very power to bring plague and to stop it are two sides of the same coin, the same staff. In the ancient world, disease was not seen as a random biological event. It was a visitation from the gods, a punishment or a test. The same divine entity that could send a plague could also withdraw it. Hermes, as the psychopomp who guided souls to the underworld, stood at the threshold of existence. His rod could put people to sleep or wake them, could close eyes forever or open them again. That is a strange way to think about a hospital logo. But consider a simple analogy. A scalpel can save a life in surgery or take one in a moment of violence. The tool is not the morality. The hand that wields it decides. The Caduceus, originally a weapon of plague, became a symbol of healing precisely because the same power can go either direction. It was not a mistake of history that turned a curse into a cure. It was the recognition that the line between the two is drawn only by intention. Here are 5 facts that cut straight to the core. 1. The oldest surviving depiction of the Caduceus is on a vase from around 500 BC, showing Hermes holding the staff while driving cattle he had stolen. 2. The Roman god Mercury, adopted from Hermes, carried the same rod, and it was often used as a symbol for commerce and negotiation, never for medicine. 3. The rod of Asclepius, with one snake, has been found on Greek healing temples from the 4th century BC, and it is the symbol endorsed by the World Health Organization today. 4. The United States Army Medical Corps did not officially adopt the Caduceus until 1902, and even then the decision was made by a single officer without consulting historians. 5. In the 18th century, the Caduceus appeared on the title pages of medical books because printers reused decorative blocks designed for trade manuals, accidentally blending the professions of merchant and physician. 6. The two snakes on the Caduceus are often said to represent the intertwining of life and death, or the dual nature of knowledge that can both poison and cure. 7. Hermes himself was a god of deception, which makes the entire symbol a kind of cosmic irony. The mystery we opened with now resolves into a strange truth. The Caduceus was never a healing staff by origin, but its journey from plague weapon to medical emblem happened because of a series of human errors, assumptions, and the fact that symbols are not fixed. They drift, they collect meaning, they shed old skins. The rod that once spread disease now hangs on ambulance doors and hospital walls, a reminder that the boundary between harm and help is thinner than we like to think. The next time you see those two snakes climbing a winged staff, will you see the weapon it was or the hope it became? And does the distinction even matter when both are carried in the same hand?